Welcome back, everybody. Week 2 NFL commentary and analysis. This is your boy from Dark Spirits. This is the DarkSports NFL podcast. So let's jump right into it. Talking about week 2, I'm going to be going over Chiefs at Jaguars, Minnesota Vikings at Philadelphia Eagles, Oakland Raiders at Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets at the Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers at LA Rams, and the Sunday night football game, the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. After that, I'll be talking about my Thursday pick coming up this Thursday on Amazon Thursday Night Football. Let's go. All right, Chiefs, Jaguars. So I remember last week I was saying how even though they lost that first game to Detroit, that I wasn't really worried because Kelsey was out, Chris Jones was out. That's who you could arguably say were the two key players. It's only week 2 in the NFL, but this was a must-win game for them, which sounds crazy even saying it because it's only week 2. But you lost your home opener. People are starting to wonder, are you going to be part of the whole Super Bowl hangover group like the Rams were? No. You got to show and prove. And I wanted them to not do anything funny. Just go down there, get the win, get back on the plane. That's it. Strictly business. And I was happy with what it is I saw. Now, it was hot in Jacksonville. They went there. People were out there in the pool, which shout out to them. I mean, that's a nice feature they got at the stadium to be able to be in the pool while you're having a beer or something. I would definitely pay extra for that. But it just started out not looking good, man. There was a lot of penalties on offense. Number 74. Man, I don't know what this dude's problem is. But eventually, they settled down. They settled down like most championship teams do. This wasn't a real show of the offense. Basically, the defense won this game. A lot of the things I saw on that game was them keeping Calvin Ridley out of the end zone. I know Calvin Ridley hasn't played in a couple years. He got suspended for gambling or something, but I guess he forgot that you need to be actually in the end zone for it to count as a score. It doesn't matter. The defense held. We got the W. This was easy money for me because I just know a championship team, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I didn't think that they would go 0-2. So shout out to Kelsey for locking up this 4-way parlay bet that I had going. Made some money off of that. We good to go. Next, I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings at the Philadelphia Eagles. So this was the Thursday night football game. Now, this is a team that I am concerned about, and here's why. The offense that I saw in this game, this is something different. I know that the offensive coordinator left. He's now the coach for the Colts. But shit, I didn't think he was going to take the playbook with him also. Just hurt. He just looked really, really conservative. The play calling was conservative. To me, it seemed like he was trying to avoid getting hurt or something, which I don't like that. I mean, what I signed up for last year was Hurts that's, running around. He definitely wasn't avoiding contact. And in this game, it seemed like he was just way too conservative. But sometimes you got to just go back to basics. Brian Flores, he was doing a good job at basically shutting down the receiving game. They couldn't get anything going for the first quarter. Second quarter, they just took it back. Let's not overcomplicate this thing. You got really good defensive schemes. But no, how about this? My guys are bigger and stronger than your guys, so we're going to just push you back. And that's exactly what they did for the rest of the game. I mean, they just kept handing it off to DeAndre Swift. I want to be careful here and make sure people are aware of this. There's a reason why it is he got traded. I'm a DeAndre Swift fan, per se, but, he's not going to have games like that anymore, right? Just make sure that you're aware of that. I am starting to get concerned just because of how they played. Yes, it was an ugly win, but they got it done. I got my money back, so I'm pretty much happy about that. Now let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. 0-2. Is the season already over for them? One good thing they got going for them is that division that they're in is bad. The Bears are in there, who is probably like the worst team in NFL, and they do get to play them. So there is still an outside chance for them to win the division and or maybe slip in on like a wild card spot or something else like that. But they pretty much have a very narrow margin. If they lose one more game, I just don't see how that's going to happen. Kirk, this is his last year under his contract. You know, you saw him on the quarterback show on Netflix. I mean, he's getting beat up. He's not going to be interested in doing that over and over again. Especially, they're probably not going to want to pay him the same thing he was getting before. So, overall, this was a game that I did not enjoy watching, but Eagles got it done. That's all I care about. Raiders at Buffalo. A lot of people will look at that final score and be happy. This is another team that I am very concerned about. They're not 0-2 like the Vikings. They are 1-1. But here's the problem. When you're playing a team like the Oakland Raiders with the personnel they have on offense, I was expecting at least 52 points. And the fact they didn't do that, and even more so the fact that I think the Raiders scored first, I just wasn't impressed at all. There's a couple problems here. Number one, they don't get to play the Raiders every week. Okay, first thing. Number two, they got to play the Commanders, and I know they're favored in that game, but the Commanders are starting to think that they can actually compete at a high level, so could have the makings for a potential upset here. Buffalo goes to Washington and loses that game, and I mean that's a tough division that they're in. But overall, this is Buffalo. It is the Raiders. That was easy money. I put some money on this. I made it feel I was happy with that. I didn't think there was any way that Buffalo was going to lose at home to the Raiders. So there we go. Okay, Jets at Dallas. So we just talked about Buffalo, right? And this is the other part, the other team that was in that, I guess, week one kickoff where Buffalo played the Jets. Aaron Rodgers went out last week. I already talked about Buffalo. Let's talk about the Jets. I was saying that the Jets might be good enough on defense where they can still win for the season. But I wanted to see what happened when they went to Dallas, and that is exactly what it is we saw. Number one, can they win with Zach Wilson? I'm going to say no. Coach and leadership, I mean, they need to be looking for another quarterback right now because Zach Wilson is not the guy. I believe the Jets went 7-10 last year. So, you know, the team is a little bit better this year, so they're probably going to win more than that. I'll go 9-8, but like one of those extra games they already won on that Buffalo game. It was just, come on, man. Jets defense is looking okay, but Zach Wilson, come on, man. It's just not gonna work. Then you got Micah Parsons just running around, do whatever he want. I mean, he's in the backfield crawling on all fours like a dog after sacking the QB. And I mean, Jets fans, come on, man. Y'all deserve better than that. Overall, this was not an enjoyable game to watch. The Cowboys got it done. NFC East looking strong. They got three teams that are 2-0. Eagles, Cowboys, and, man, the Commanders. That's crazy to say, right? Okay, so I talked a little bit about bad teams. I want to talk about a team that I saw that looked good, and that was the San Francisco 49ers at the Rams. 49ers are looking like a playoff team in week 2. They got so many ways to beat you. Offensively, Purdy, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And Kittle, I mean, they're going to catch stuff. And then you got C-Mac who can catch and receive. Then the defense is very solid, so they can keep you from scoring. If they're scoring and they're keeping you from scoring, that's probably going to be a win. And that's what we've seen over the past 2 weeks. So they're 2-0 on the road. Guess what? They got a short week, but they get to play the Giants this week. There's no guarantees in life, but I mean, this is pretty much easy money. So shout out to the San Francisco 49ers, 2-0, representing the NFC. I think they are right now looking like the best team in the NFL, maybe even better than the Chiefs right now. And finally, out of the week 2 games, I want to talk about the Miami Dolphins at the Patriots. The Patriots, that was an ugly game. I told you guys last week that Eagles-Patriots game, that was an ugly game. Patriots lost 0-1. Okay. Now, Belichick, he's seeing what the Miami Dolphins did last week. He saw all those deep passes, Tua getting like record yards. So it was a simple plan for this game. The plan was, let's not give them anything deep. Let's keep Jalen Waddle and Tyreek contained. Let's give them these 10, 15-yard short routes. Let's just get them down into the actual red zone. In the red zone, speed and agility don't matter as much because you have a shorter field. And they did a good job of doing that. They let them get the other stuff, and they did a good job of holding. The defense did a pretty decent job. Unfortunately, when you have a guy like McCorkle at your QB who can't drive the offense down the field, you're going to end up just getting outscored. And that was eventually what happened. You got Tyreek breakdancing in the end zone. It wasn't a good look, especially for the fans. Let's just say at 0-2, this team got to win your division or at least be very high in your division to even get a shot at going to the Super Bowl. In that division, they got the Dolphins, who are looking good, the Jets, who have an outside chance, and the Bills. So I don't think the Patriots are going to end up having a better record than the Bills, Jets, or Dolphins. This is pretty much over. But I mean, Patriots fans, hey, y'all had a good 20-year run with Brady. It's all good. Now, finally, here is my Thursday night football pick. And this is pretty much, like I said, easy money. You got the New York Giants coming to San Francisco. San Francisco, as I mentioned, is 2-0 to start the season on the road. Now they're coming back in their home game. They got to play the Giants without Saquon, probably, who is the key of their offense. Now, I was watching the game and I saw how Arizona, James Conner was just running through their line. Come on, man. If James Conner is just putting up almost career numbers on you, what do you think is going to happen when you got McCaffrey, Kittle, and Debo running around back there? I'm pretty comfortable in this pick here. I think it's going to be good. I'm glad I got my money in before the odds went down. But again, that's a good thing about football. On paper, this is a easy win. They actually got to play the game, and I'm looking forward to seeing that. So that is my Thursday pick. That's all I got for this week. Thank you for listening. I'll be back for week 3. We'll find out if I was right or if I was wrong. Dark Spirit / Dark Sports signing off, and I will talk to you next week.